Welcome to this tutorial, and in this lesson we are going to be studying about the break and continue keywords and what they do whenever you use them. And mostly they are used in loops. We have already encountered the break keyword whenever we have been using the switch statement to basically break out of the switch statement. And so we are going to be finding out how we use them in loops, and we are going to use a case example with a for loop. So first of all, let's start write a for loop that's going to print out the number of iterations. So we're going to write for. I'm sure by now you remember the syntax. We define an initialization, or we initialize a counter variable to 0. And then we have a condition to check for counter, let's say is less than 10, and then we increment the counter. Those are the three mandatory statements that you need for a for loop. So let's test that the for loop is working. This is iteration number, concatenate with the counter. Yes, so we for loop is working fine. So let's now proceed to find out how the break and continue statements are used. We're going to tell our program that if we are on count number 5, it should break out of the for loop. And break out of the for loop simply means that it's not going to continue with the iterations. It's going to break out and continue the rest of the program, which basically in our case is going to mean it's going to stop program execution because we don't have more statements to execute. So you remember, of course, you remember the if statement and its syntax. So we're going to say if counter is equal to 5, then break. Just the break keyword. You don't write anything else after it. You just the break keyword and of course the semicolon to end the statement. So if the counter is 5, break, else you can continue with the iterations. So let's run our program and find out how the break keyword affects the flow of our program. So as you can see, we have iteration 0, 1, 2, iteration 0 all the way to 4. However, whenever count is 5, it breaks out of the loop and it does not proceed with the execution of the loop. So basically what this means is that it whenever it encountered that the counter was 5, it broke out, or it broke out of the for loop or the iteration. So it did not print out, not execute iteration number 5 all the way to iteration 10. So that is the work of a break statement. It simply means it break out of the loop or break out of the program. So that is the for loop. That is the break statement. Let's just comment break statement. So let's have another one. The other one is called the continue statement. They have a slight difference, which we are going to find out just right now. So we are going to say that if the counter is equal to 3, continue is equal to 3. We're just going to use the continue statements just as they are, as we say them. So we have a break keyword and a continue keyword. So what happens with the continue keyword is that it just keeps one iteration that is specified in the condition, but proceeds with the rest of the conditions. So let's find out from our program how this actually happens. Yes, so what you see is that we print out iteration number 0, which is the first iteration, and then we print out iteration number 1, then we print out iteration number 2, but if you realize, we do not have printed iteration number 3, and that is because we have told our program that whenever you encounter iteration number 3, skip it, meaning just continue. So what does is that it skips that iteration and proceeds to the rest of the iterations. So it prints out iteration number 4, and after that it encounters a break statement for condition that the counter is 5, and therefore breaks out of the loop structure. So let's find out, just for clarity, let's break out of the statement. Instead of breaking when it is 5, let's break when it's 8 and find out how this happens, just for clarity. So we print out iteration number 0, iteration number 1, iteration number 2, then we find out, then the program finds that the counter is 3 and it's being requested to continue, so it skips iteration number 3 because of the continue statement or the continue keyword, then prints out iteration number 4, iteration 5, iteration 6, and iteration 7, and then it encounters that the iteration, we are on iteration number 8, and in this case is supposed to break out of the statement, so it does not print out the iteration number 8, 9, and 9 actually. But those are the break and continue statements and how they are used. And maybe you might be wondering how you could use them in a real life program. So imagine you're developing an application that sends messages or emails to your customers, and there are some of the customers who have requested that you should not send them those emails. So you may for instance consider that if the customer ID is equal to this number or another number, then continue, meaning you could skip it, and so on and so forth. You can imagine other scenarios. That was just an example. So key takeaways from this lesson: there is a break statement that breaks out or switches out of the loop structure, and the continue statement just skips one iteration. Uh, please keep enjoying the series, keep learning. See you in the next video. Thank you.